I'm quickly going to introduce tonight's program, or the protocol. Tonight's lecture is part of our exhibition with Smadar Dreyfus, whose major new work, Mother's Day, was on display here for 2.5 months. And I want to express my sincere thanks to Smadar and to all that have helped us make this possible, especially our team at Extra City and the Buren in Brussels and its director, Dorian van der Brandt. Also Leonard, who is here, who helped and who is filming tonight. Thanks, Leonard. It is my great pleasure that we were able to get the one person that we really wanted to be able to visit us in conjunction with this show, and that's Mladen Dolar, who sits next to me, who's going to be talking tonight. After his talk, we will have a brief conversation between me and Smadar, and also Mladen, and then opening it up to everybody, to the floor, as we say. And that's basically it. Whoever wants to join after that, we go to the south for a late dinner and drink. Also, for those who didn't manage to see the work, we will have a last chance after the lecture. We will run it once again. And yeah, I want to introduce Mladen Dolar, who's a well-known philosopher and cultural critique, co-founder of the Ljubljana School of Psychoanalysis, and recently published the widely acclaimed, to date, the ultimate theory on the voice, the book, A Voice and Nothing More. It's a great pleasure. Thanks, Mladen, for being here.
Thank you very much for the invitation. So, you hear me? Is this all right? Thank you very much for the invitation. I'm very honored to be here, and I feel that I can't live up to the glorious description that Anselm generously made of me, but I'll do what I can. The title of this is What's in a Voice, and I wanted to sort of make some points that enable me to highlight why I think this is important, what kind of object is the voice. So in the first part I will speak about the relation of the voice to the language and take up some literary examples. And in the scope of this, of relation of the voice to the unconscious, what is the voice of the unconscious? In the second part, I will speak about the relation of the voice to the body, and then I will get to the work of Smadar Dreyfus and also to another work by Vali Expert. And I'll show a clip of this, and we'll try to you'll see, well, why they take very opposite, extremely opposite strategies to approach this object voice. Well, so let me start. I'll start with the most famous scene in Western literature, which is the balcony scene in Romeo and Juliet. So, what's in the voice is a sort of echo of that famous line that Juliet says into the night. What's in a name? It is nor hand nor foot, nor arm nor face, nor any other part belonging to a man. And at this point she doesn't yet see Romeo, who is hidden in the darkness of the garden. She speaks into the dark, and Romeo listens to his mistress's voice addressing the night. And this is, first of all, a scene of voices. Voices heard in the dark, and at the same time, emblematically, a scene of names. Precisely the drama of the disparity between voices and names. She will recognize Romeo a moment later by his voice, and they will commune with their voices in the dark, not quite seeing each other. They will swear their love in this scene of voices, the canonical scene which has defined what we understand under the name of love. So the scene can be taken as a cue for the understanding of the voice, or rather for the dramatic understanding of the discrepancy, the opposition between the voice and the name, and on a more general abstract level, between the voice and the signifier. In this scene, at the simplest, the name is the enemy, and the voice is the friend, the ally. "It is but thy name that is my enemy," says Juliet. So both the name and the voice point to individuality. They pinpoint our uniqueness, our singularity, but in very different ways. The name points to the inscription of individuality into the social, into the network of social divisions, hierarchies, and obligations. The name describes a social place. The voice, on the other hand, seems to escape the social network of its vicissitudes. It seems to speak from heart to heart. It is of such stuff that love is made of. Each voice is unique. It has a sort of fingerprint quality. It is far more unique and singular than the name, because the name is shared. It obeys social and family codes, and it is always generic. One is always a Montague or a Capulet. Names can be replicated. They can be cloned. Each name is always already a clone. But voices can't. At least not until the troubling technological inventions more than a century ago, which inaugurated a new era, a new fate of the voice in the age of mechanical reproduction. I can come back to this later. By the name, one always impersonates someone else. One is always a representative of a class of people bearing certain names, a family, a nation, a tradition. But with the voice, I can express this in this oxymoronic way, one always impersonates oneself. For the very nice lovers, it is a matter of life and death to undo the unity of name and voice. The uniqueness that the voice evokes and testifies to is the uniqueness which is at stake in life. Life aims precisely at the exclusive trait that cannot be quite spelled out or pinned down. And voice is its harbinger. Voice is the pledge. And the two lovers of the night had no problem communicating their voices. Everything would have been all right, or so it seems, if they only could be confined to the voice. It is the name that is the source of all trouble. In what vile part of this anatomy does my name lodge? Asks Romeo later in the play. Tell me that I may sack this hateful mention. And he draws his sword, as the stage reactions indicate. Prepare to cut off that vile bodily part, to cut off his name as his sword, to castrate himself of his name, of the name of the Father, but to no avail. So what part of the body might he purport to cut off when he draws the sword? Does he somehow tacitly assume there is a phallic signifier which resides in his phallus? Is this the spontaneous assumption that the audience inevitably makes? So this is like an almost caricatural Lacanian scene, bringing together the name of the Father, the phallic signifier, castration, and the nature of love. To cut off the name and to retain the voice. The name seems to be expendable. One could do without, but the voice is not. Deny thy Father and refuse thy name, says Juliet. To fully assume the voice. So what's in a voice? To extend Juliet's question, what does voice bear witness to? And which part of the anatomy does it inhabit? It is also no hand, no foot, no arm, no face, nor any other part belonging to man. And how does what's in a voice differ from what's in a name? So, there is a sort of dichotomy, antinomy of the voice of the name and the voice of the signifier. This can serve as a simple general thesis, a starting point, something that this scene dramatizes most spectacularly, by pitting the voice against the master signifier, the name of the Father. But what is brought here to a dramatic peak happens on a more modest and elementary level all the time.